Welcome to Sporting News' Eye on MLB, brought to you by Sony's new Xperia Ion smartphone. My name is Stephen Levine. I'm sitting here with senior baseball editor for Sporting News, Bahr. And Chris, a couple of big-name pitchers just went down for the Yankees, Sabathia and Andy Pettitte. You've also got some pitching injuries at Texas. Those two teams, though, seem pretty well positioned to weather this storm.
Those two teams have, not only do they have big division leads, they've got some depth. You know, the Yankees can dig into the minor leagues a little bit. They can move Freddie Garcia from the bullpen to the rotation. Again, with Sabathia, we're talking about a short-term injury. Pettitte, not so much, probably 2 months. But they're fine. They're going to score runs. They've got a lead. The Rangers, same thing. You know, the pickup of Roy Oswalt now certainly helps them because that brought a bona fide starter into that rotation when they needed one. They're going to have Derek Holland back, Colby Lewis back sooner than later. So we're talking about a few weeks here. They've got a nice lead over the Angels. They're going to be fine. So are the Yankees.
Yeah, but over in the National League, a couple of big-name pitchers are also injured, and their teams may not be in quite as strong a position as say, New York or Texas. You've got Roy Halladay for the Phillies and Chris Carpenter for the Cardinals, both of whom are currently out with injuries.
Yeah, and it's funny because those two guys pitched against each other. They're best friends. They pitched against each other in the Game 5 of the NLDS last year. So we're talking about two postseason studs. Carpenter was the man the Cardinals rode all through the playoffs. Halladay is as good as anybody, the no-hitter the year before that in the playoffs. So those guys need to come back. The Phillies need Halladay if they're going to make a run, and the Cardinals definitely need Carpenter if they're going to make a run. Neither one will make the playoffs right now, I don't think. And Carpenter hasn't pitched all year. Halladay's been shut down for a little bit. Cardinals also don't have Jaime Garcia, so those two teams, if they're going to make another charge to the playoffs, they need their aces back.
Yeah, and also you've got the Braves, you've got the Diamondbacks. They're trying to get a run going, and they've got pitchers down to injury.
The problem they're going to have is their pitchers aren't coming back. The Braves lost Brandon Beachy, who was leading the NL in ERA when he blew out his ligament in his elbow, and the Diamondbacks just lost Daniel Hudson to another ligament injury. He's probably headed for Tommy John. Beachy's already had it, so those two guys are not coming back, so the Braves and Diamondbacks are probably going to have to make a move.
But as bad as all that sounds, nobody is in quite the pickle that the Toronto Blue Jays are in. I mean, yes, they're at the bottom, but a wild card berth isn't out of the question, except for the fact that half of their bullpen, half of their rotation is out.
Even worse, 60% of their starting pitchers now are on the DL.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Brandon Morrow probably will be back. He's the one that you want to have back. And a fourth guy just this week came out of the game with an elbow injury, so he's probably not going to go in the DL. But we're talking about a team that was really making a nice charge in the AL East. They're still above 500. But they're going to have to go day by day without really knowing who their starting pitching is going to be. So that makes it a lot tougher, on top of having to climb over 4 teams ahead of them. Not to have 60% of your rotation, that's an uphill battle.
All right, well, good luck with that, Toronto. For Bahr, I'm Stephen Levine. Thanks again to Sony and their new Xperia Ion smartphone for sponsoring Eye on MLB.